Hello everyone, it's another Train Guy here. Today we'll be driving through Southern Pacific Daylight 4449 history from 1941 to the present to celebrate 4449's 84th birthday. So let's begin. May 20th, 1941. The Lima Locomotive Works in Ohio. This beautiful GS locomotive is part of the GS4 class. She rolled out of the factory in Ohio and was attached to a freight train heading to the Golden State of California. That is what the GS, it stands for Golden State. The name was changed to General Service. On May 30th, 1941, the engine was ready to pull the Coast Daylight passenger train from Los Angeles to San Francisco. The 4449 length is 110 feet, a width of 10 feet, and a height of 16 feet. She is a big one because her tender weighs 313, 730 lbs, and the locomotive weighs 475,000 pounds. The engine is also an oil burner because the Southern Pacific like oil burners, so it doesn't catch. 4449 had a good service life on SP passenger trains like the Shasta Daylight, San Joaquin Daylight, Sacramento Daylight, and eventually the Coast Daylight. The engine has a whistle and an air horn, a Hancock 3 chime, and a Leslie nicknamed the Foghorn. During the 1940s, a new batch of GS4s and a new class of GS5s came from the Lima Locomotive Works in Ohio. As such, 4449 was sent to work on the Sunset Route. But on October 17th, 1954, SP 4449 and 4447 on a 10-car fan trip over to Tehachapi, California. In 1955, 4449 was moved to the Bay Area and had her daylight paint and skirts removed. From time to time, she pulled the San Joaquin Daylight, but she would use a helper engine or fast freights. On September 24th, 1956, 4449 was semi-retired from service. And on October 2nd, 1957, 4449 was retired from service and was put into the deadline, while most of the GS2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s were being scrapped. 4449 was saved from being scrapped because on April 24th, 1958, 4449 was donated to the city of Portland, Oregon, and was put on display in Oaks Park. However, during her time at Oaks Park, she had a lot of things were stolen from her, like her builder's plate, her original whistle, many other pieces. As a result, the engine quickly deteriorated. The rainy weather in Portland did not help. But an NRHS person named Jack Holst was a former employee of the Southern Pacific Railroad, kept 449's bearings and rods oiled if a locomotive turns a wheel again. Holst also took care of SPNS 700 and ORN 197. But in the 1970s, a man named Ross Rowland wanted steam to pull the American Freedom Train across the United States for the 200th anniversary of the United States. He's chosen running T1 2101, and he and his team went to Portland and examined 449 over and saw the bearings and rods were in good shape. On December 13th, 1974, SP 449 was towed out of Oaks Park for a brand new life. It was taken to the Burlington Northern Roundhouse to be restored. In 1975, 4449 was fully restored to operation with a red, white, and blue paint scheme. Since the original whistle was taken off the engine, two different whistles, a Hancock 3 chime from SPNS 700 and an SP6 chime. In Chicago, 4449 met running 2101 and 4449 took the Freedom Train across the western part of the United States. On January 1st, 1976, the American Freedom Train was complete. SB-4449 was put in storage in Miami, Florida, until 1977, when it held an Amtrak transcontinental excursion from Miami, Florida to When 4449 arrived in Portland, it was put into the Brooklyn Roundhouse. It's now owned by the Friends of 4449. In 1981, SB-4449 was invited to Rail Fair 81. Other steam locomotives were invited as well. After Rail Fair 81, 4449 went to Los Angeles. After that, 4449 went home to Portland, Oregon with an excursion. However, in Klamath Falls, a tube seemed to leak into the firebox, so the excursion was brought in by diesel power. And 449 took a string of boxcars and head back to Portland, Oregon, and was put into storage for. In 1984, 4449 pulled the World's Fair Daylight from Portland, Oregon to New Orleans, Louisiana. In 1986, it was 4449's first time on the big screen. In March of 1986, the Disney Studios in Los Angeles made an agreement with the city of Portland to use the daylight in a movie called Tough Guys. The train will be called the Gold Coast Flyer. During the movie, by the 7. In 1989, SB-4449 was invited to LAUPT's 50th anniversary. Union Pacific 8444 was also invited to take part in the event. They even race each other over Cajon Pass. In 1990, SP4449 was taking part in Come See the Paradise. It was filmed at Portland's Union Station. In 1991, Southern Pacific 4449 was invited to Railfair 91. It traveled from Portland, Oregon to Sacramento, California, on the Cascade route. In 1992, SP449 was invited to the NRHS convention in San Jose, along with SP2472 and UP3985. After that, 449 was pulling different excursions around Portland, including Washington. In 1999, SP449 was invited to Railfair 99, along with UP 844, 3985, ATSF 3751, and SP 2467, along with other steamers, along with Sierra Railway. In 2000, BNSF started to do an employee appreciation special, and SP449 was invited to do this. To avoid the appearance of the SP, the engine was painted black, like the War Babies. In 2002, SP449 was painted in her American Freedom Train paint scheme to honor the victims of 9/11. In 2004, SP4449 was painted in her as-delivered paint scheme with small Southern Pacific Lines lettering at the top of her tender. She held an excursion to Montana to end the 2004 season with the Holiday Express. In 2007, SP4449 and UP844 did a double-header excursion to Tacoma, Washington, including Everett, Washington. In 2009, SP4449 was invited to Trainz Festival 2009. In 2011, Southern Pacific 4449 was heading to Tacoma, Washington for its 70th anniversary. In 2012, SP4449 was heading from Portland to Bend, Oregon with an excursion. It was the last time 449 ran on the Mainline. to end the 2012 season, SB4449 pulled the Holiday Express to Oaks Park. After the Holiday Express season was done, SB4449 went down for FRA 1472-day inspection from 2013 to 2015. In 2017, SB4449 made a return to the Mainline with an excursion from Portland, Oregon to Bend, Oregon. However, in 2018, Amtrak policy decided to have no more steam excursions on the main line. However, SB4449 was part of train time, and was the last time the daylight engine went out on the main line. On August 28, 2019, 4449 was pulling an excursion to Oaks Park. From November to December, SB4449 pulled the last Holiday Express train in 2019. However, in 2020's Holiday Express, it was canceled due to COVID. In 2021, SB4449 pulled the Holiday Express train, but it was the last time the daylight engine pulled the Holiday Express train to Oaks. In 2022, SB4449 pulled an excursion to Oaks Park, but it was the last time 4449 pulled an excursion to Oaks Park due to the track couldn't hold SB4449's and SPNS 700's weight. Well guys, hope you guys liked this video of SB4449's 84th anniversary and the history of the engine from 1941 to the present. Hope you guys liked this video. I'll see you guys next time down the line. This is Nova Train Guy, over and out.